Wait,
Maybe
can you
because
go
he
over
was.
that stuff again?
What?
Like what you were just saying.
My dad.
It was.
I believe my dad is an alcoholic, and he had a hard time because he came here in U.S. and because he had a hard life, he doesn't really know how to adjust and he didn't take advantage of those benefits that he has because the last job he has was working in construction, and he was with the union over in California and never took advantage of all those things that should have been qualified for him. And he hurt his finger and other stuff like that, and he could have gotten disability or something, but he didn't know how to go about those things, like going to the lawyer and things like that, and then he gets so frustrated, so he doesn't do anything. Nobody was guiding him enough to make do because he was so stubborn and he thinks he knows it all. I think that was the thing, the problem.
He only graduated 4th grade.
Yeah, he finished only 4th grade while his sisters are all lawyers and teachers. So he resented that in a way because he has to. He left the town. He left when he was four. What grade it was? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe he was 12 or 13 years old when he came to U.S. He's actually not 17. I always thought he was 17, but I guess not.
So what happened in Rancho?
Riata?
Yeah, what happened?
We bought a house that has 1.5 acre. We're hoping that my dad, with a, like a ranch, because my dad likes
Rancho what?
Rancho Riata, way over there, up the hill. And we were hoping that he will come and live with us, with my mom, but he did not. And my dad is too proud. He has too much pride. And that is really sad because he doesn't like to ask help, or he doesn't know how to ask help, and he doesn't like to ask help. Those are the main two things. Because he's a very stubborn man, and he thinks that he knows it all. I think that's the problem. It's his ego. So, but I resented him in many ways because.
So you moved from San Jose to Washington with Grandpa?
With Grandma.
Just Grandma?
No, just me and your dad, and then my mom was still working for Intel Corporation, and she finished her 10 years.
Hold on. So moved to Washington while Mom still worked at... Okay.
Intel.
And finished, what, 10 years?
To finish her 10 years tenure over there. And then she came because we needed a babysitter for Alexis. That's what it was.
And then where was Grandpa? Well, since you
Grandpa
bought a house
was living here in Pasco.
by himself?
Mm-hmm.
While you had the ranch?
Yeah. He didn't want to come and live with us. He was living like a migrant. In those small boxes house.
Mm-hmm.
Open the door, everything is there. Yeah. That's how I came to US. I lived with him for a month, and then I went to Milpitas. I had culture shock, Ryan. So this is my life here. Oh my gosh. Comparing to the way it was in the Philippines, oh my gosh. So that's when I realized, oh my gosh, that was my dad. I mean, that's him, and I have to accept him as he is. But my dad never liked me.
Okay. That's all.
My dad never liked me because I am a girl and I don't carry my last name, his last name. There's this important thing for Filipinos or macho, whatever. So, if I would have been a boy, it would be different. I was never good enough child for him, I guess. Yeah, I never felt any love from him. So I have to make do. I have to pass that over because that's life. I feel sad for my mom because she has to endure that. But what can you do? He came once while my mom was in the hospital. That was it. I think he was very disappointed with himself, disappointed with his life too.
Because he was not the macho man providing for his family.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell. I can see that just by this.
Yeah. But you know, it all depends on how you look at it though, you know?
Okay.
Time changes, you know? So sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. That's what life is. When time is rough, you just have to talk to God to get for you to feel and hug you. He's been my strength. No matter what, I used to go to the Blessed Sacrament and just sit there and pray. I enjoy that very much because it's very peaceful. And I just talk to him in my mind.
Well, when did you meet Dad?
I met him in California like a year, within that year or a few months after I came. Maybe a year after or less. During one of those parties. I was with Violet, who was one of my best friends. And Violet is a good friend of your auntie.
Auntie Violet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Was a very good friend of Auntie Lita, so they invited us for a party. And we went to that party and they have that dance inside the garage because that was the fad then.
So when you moved up here, were you guys dating or what?
When I moved up here, I was already married with your dad. We already have Alexis. One reason why we moved here was your dad was very involved with his gang, with his friends, and he never comes home. They would go somewhere, you know. So I had a lot.
When did you get married?
January 8th, 1975, 76. I can't remember exactly.
And you moved because why?
We moved because your dad was involved too much with his friends. You know, his friends are those people that kind of like a gang, you know, like they have friends and they hang around all the time and they go gambling and they go drinking and they don't come home and we always fight, you know, so it's either I have to save my marriage or not.
You moved here with him or no?
Move him here.
And he came?
And yeah, we planned to move here. When Josie came to Tri-Cities, to San Jose and said, why don't you move here because I'm gonna open a store and I need somebody to to manage it, blah blah blah. So she has this store, and then I was waiting for a job. I applied at DOE, and it took me a long time to get a job there. But I was there like every week, calling them every week for me to get a job. And guess who helped me? It was Nancy Peterson who helped me. She was the one working at HR then. So I got one of the trainees job as a chem tech because they had opening every September, October. They, the new, that's when they have new budget, and that's when they hire all the people. So when I work here, I also work at Boeing after. I worked for a year, almost a year, over at Boeing in the lab also. So I was commuting.
Wait, so in 1977, you moved up to Washington.
Yes.
To get away from
his friends.
And Dad was here already?
Yeah.
I mean, Grandpa was here already?
Yeah, he was here already.
Why was he here already?
He was here with Auntie Josie. Talked to him to move, and he got him some properties and a mobile home and everything, but I don't know what happened. Then he went back to California, and then he came back. He was going back and forth, back and forth. He was not very stable. He was very good friend with, what's his name? Those people over in Road 100 in Pasco? The one that owns those lands there now? God, he was very good friend with them, with this one guy. And now all those lands there, they sold it, and that's where Myla's new house is. It's like, oh, it's beautiful. But it's right along Road 100, and they have a house there, an old kind of like barn house, and that's where he lived. He has dogs, he has, he has chickens that for sabong. You know what sabong is?
No.
They go fight, cockfighting. Yeah.
Rooster fighting.
Yeah, he did that. He took care of those kind of chicken.